Today is the official first day of summer, and it's all about the summer solstice. Joining us to share what that means is Paulette Epstein, and she's here from the Michigan Science Center. And I have the Earth in my hand because it's all about the tilt of the Earth today, right?
Yes, exactly. It is all about the tilt of the Earth. Now, a lot of people think that summer happens because we are, a lot of people think that this is the case, that we're closer to the sun. That's not the case.
We're not kissing the sun
We're
yet.
not kissing the sun yet. So it's actually because the northern hemisphere is tilted at 23.5 degrees, exactly like that, tilted towards our sun, so that we're able to see more sunlight in the northern half of the Earth. Turns out that on our summer solstice in the northern half of the Earth, what do you think is happening in the southern half?
It's going to be the opposite.
It's going to be the opposite, exactly. So when our northern half has the summer solstice, the southern half is going to have their winter solstice.
So it's our longest day,
the
most
day of
sunlight.
The year. Yes, the most sunlight. And so today we're going to celebrate by making some art with the
we'll
sunlight.
Put our sun and our Earth down. I love that sun, though. I want to put that too. Little friends here.
He's one of my favorites, yes. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using something called cyanotype paper.
Okay.
So it's a special ink that interacts with ultraviolet light. So our sun produces ultraviolet light.
And that's what this is?
And that's what this paper is. So this is special cyanotype paper. This can actually be purchased at any sort of craft store as well. And I have something that's supposed to protect us from UV light.
Yeah, we would think
have our sunscreen. So you and I today are going to make some art with
I love art.
The sunscreen and our little Q-tips here. So go ahead, grab a Q-tip, grab a little bit of sunscreen, and we're going to just put a thin layer of sunscreen on here in whatever pattern we want to be able to do.
I'm going to make a sun, I think.
I'm going to make a smiley
I'm going to do a sun with some rays coming down, because we certainly have felt that over the past few days, right?
Yes, we have. Absolutely.
So the heat is on.
Yeah. So after you create whatever art you want to with this, with the sunscreen that protects it from UV rays, then you put it out in the sun. Okay. So you put this paper out in the sun and allow it to absorb the UV rays.
Okay. So there's my sun.
Yep.
Yeah,
I've got a little smiley face and a little heart there.
That's nice.
Yep, there we go.
All right.
And so when you put it out in the sun, and let it absorb that sunlight, you're actually going to see something that kind of looks like this. So this was my little art from yesterday.
After it dries?
So that's actually not after it dries.
Oh, okay.
So this, when we put this out in the sunlight, you'll notice that this is actually a lot darker than this is. The ink in the paper actually absorbs the UV rays and makes this a lot darker. And then these white areas that we see are actually areas where the UV light was blocked.
So we know it did the right thing.
We know it did the right thing.
We're going to block those UV rays.
Exactly. So you could do that with sunscreen like we did here today. You can also do it with different like toys and animals and stuff like that. So we have one that I created yesterday with some of our animals here. This one, I like this one better.
And
the giraffe looks a lot better.
Let's show the fence
Yep,
too.
you can see the fence there.
So
so these are, what is happening is that we're actually blocking the UV light in these areas, and then what we do is we rinse this paper off.
Okay.
So after you rinse the paper off, the ink in these areas is rinsed off and the ink in the other areas sticks to it.
Okay.
So we're able to make some really interesting art with this. And like I said, you can get this kind of stuff at any craft store. We do stuff like this at the Science Center
as well. And you have other examples over there?
Yeah, I do.
Same
setup. This one I did with leaves, and this is actually a flower. You can actually tell that I did this a little bit later in the day because of the really fuzzy edges.
Wow.
It's a really great activity to be able to do on these really long days, be able to interact with that sunlight. And actually on the other side of the paper, you can see that this didn't interact with the UV light at all.
But that does.
But and so we were able to have sort of an area that is white on the other side.
Okay. I do want to get time in here to mention the big event on Saturday. Tell me about that at the Michigan Science Center.
Yes, on Saturday we are going to have our STEMinista celebration.
Okay.
So the STEMinista project focuses on 4th through 8th grade girls.
All right.
And we have a couple of girls that are actually going to be presenting their final projects at the Science Center. So it's a day that we celebrate celebrate women in STEM. So we're very, very excited about
Love that.
our STEMinista Saturday.
And also you have summer camp, of course, going on. Now the first week is already booked, but
Yes.
we've got plenty of weeks to go,
Yes,
right?
we still have 7 weeks of summer camp after that. We do all sorts of really fun activities throughout the summertime. We have themes, different themes each week. One of our weeks is all about games and science of games. One of our weeks is all about art and the science
Love
of art.
and science.
And then one of our weeks is about space. And so, of course, that's my personal favorite.
Well, I love all of this, and I love when we have the sun and the earth here to talk about the summer solstice, which is today, the first day of summer. Thank you so much, Paulette, for being here from the Michigan Science Center.
Thanks for having me.